Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto was given a second chance. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also stay in tune for What If Naruto was the Osusuki King, because I'm going to be posting that later on for you guys to enjoy. And over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the beginning. So stay in tune for that, and I do hope that you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what is we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So to do a bit of a recap from the last part we left off, Naruto was faced off against Sakura, Sasuke, and Jubito. As things turned out really bad, it all started from when Sakura betrayed him, as she ended up stopping the fight at the Valley of the End by using Senmon needles to paralyze Naruto momentarily. As she went along with Sasuke, as Sasuke allowed her to come. He might need a useful pawn in the future, and from there, Naruto pushed himself incredibly hard, as he couldn't believe he lost both of them one day. As Jiraiya teach him everything, he teach Naruto every single thing. On his training trip, as he saw how determined and serious the boy was. As things went along smoothly, until Jiraiya's death. Hearing about that broke Naruto even more, as he faced off against Pain. Pain coming to Konoha to take Nine Tails. But Naruto came out on top. And things escalated from there going on. Sakura even got experimented on by Orochimaru, as she wanted to be useful to Sasuke, giving her body a titanium harden to make her body strong. So in the end, Naruto ended up facing off against all of them, and even Madara appeared on the battlefield. Naruto had two blades that, over the years that he came to love, that were specially made for him, as he clashed against all of them. But it wasn't enough. In the end, Sakura grabbed him, as Sasuke just used her as his tool. He stabbed right through her, stabbing Naruto as well. Knowing that he was going to die, he said his goodbyes to Kurama, who had become his best friend through everything. After learning the complex works of Fuinjutsu, Naruto was prepared for this, as he didn't go down alone, as he exploded, bringing Sasuke with him. But Jubito finally won the war, as it was time for him to cast the Tsukuyomi over the world. As Naruto woke up, coming face to face with death, as she had a womanly avatar, as she spoke to him. She decided to give him a second chance after listening to him, as she had watched his life, as she told him that she was going to send him back. As Naruto was surprised, but he wanted a redo, to change his life in many ways, as he asked her if he could get his blades. As she sent him off, but she forgot to tell him that not everything would be the same. Waking up, Naruto looked in the water, as he was near a stream. He looked to be 8 or 9 years old, as a large tiger came out of the forest and tried to attack him. As he fight off against the tiger, ended up falling into the water and flowing off, and ended up coming back out, as his body was small, and he could not do certain things as he could. The first thing he decided to do was sit down as he went into his mindscape. Arriving in there, he came upon the cage as he saw the two red eyes open, as he called Kurama's name, surprising Kurama. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across this place to check it out for yourself. So, what is we begin this new episode? Something was off. Naruto could tell that instantly. As he looked at the fox in front of him, first noticing the darker color of the fox, and seeing the look on the fox's face that was not really vicious. "How do you know my name?" said Kurama, in a rather soft tone. No vicious or relentless rage behind his tone, making Naruto even more confused. As Naruto looked at him, "Why aren't you angry?" "Why am I supposed to be angry?" asked Kurama. "Huh?" said Naruto. "Aren't you supposed to be like vicious and wanted to take over my body and all that and want to get free?" "First tell me, how do you know my name?" said Kurama. "Well, you see, I kind of lived this life before," Naruto said. "What do you mean?" said Kurama curiously. "Oh, I kind of died. My previous life and the Shinigami gave me a second chance." "Really?" said Kurama surprised. "I never thought the god of death would give anyone a second chance. You must be really special." "You believe me?" said Naruto. "Why would you lie? And how do you know my name?" "That can be a sure fact, because I've never told another human my name. So, that must be the reason." "But tell me something else then. If you have lived this life before." "Well, the Jubi," Naruto said. Kurama's eyes widened. "You know about that beast?" "Yeah, as I told you, in my time, a group named the Akatsuki are going to successfully revive the beast. Well, the leader of that group." "Oh, was I taken from you and turned into that beast as well?" "I know that you come from it," Naruto said. "But you have to bring back all of the other Bijus to reform that beast. But don't worry, you weren't taken in my time. It was just a piece of your chakra. Do you happen to remember two guys, Kinkaku and Ginkaku?" "Oh yes," Kurama said, "I do. But that was a long time ago, before I was split. I end up eating them, but to survive they feast on my insides, eating my chakra, and they managed to steal tails worth of my chakra. So that is how they managed to revive that beast. Well, that would be catastrophic for the world, seeing that beast drink the oceans and split the world. If it wasn't for the old man," thought Kurama, "things would have been really bad." "Hey," Naruto said. "Oh, what is it?" said Kurama. "No, answer my question. What's wrong with you?" "Oh well, the reason I'm not, well, evil as you put it. I am the yang half of myself." "The yang half?" "Well, that's right," Naruto said. "You were split when my father sealed you inside of me. So you know about that," said Kurama. "Well, if you have lived this life before, then you know what happened to your parents." "Yeah, I know that you killed them," Naruto said. Kurama looked down, as if he was actually feeling guilty. You really are different," Naruto said. "Don't worry, I don't blame you for that. I have come to terms with that a long time ago. But I guess things change in this timeline. Because in my time, you weren't that nice and cooperative and even talked to me, always trying to kill me and take over my body." "Really?" Kurama said. "Yes," Naruto said. "But it seems like you're totally different now. I wonder if anything else has changed." "What do you mean?" said Kurama. "Before that," said Naruto, "can I count on you for your help? Back in my time, you were actually my best friend." "Huh? I thought I hated you," said Kurama. "Well, at first you did. But after we battled, and I beat you." "Really? You must have been really strong," Kurama said. "Well, I had to get strong to make sure I didn't die early like some buffoon, and to protect my remaining friends. But yeah, we came to good terms when you helped me face off against Madara." Kurama growled a bit. He is responsible for all of this, but he's now wearing a mask because he's the only one that is capable of summoning me. "Oh, trust me, that's not him," Naruto said. "What do you mean?" said Kurama. "Well, that's just another Uchiha. His name is Obito Uchiha. He was trained by Madara and took on his name. He's the one that is going to start the Akatsuki and plummet this world into darkness. I failed back then to protect my friends and everyone else. But I won't this time, Naruto said. Can I count on you for your help? Well, I rather like it here than being stuck inside of a giant statue and becoming a part of that beast again. So, I'll do what I can to help, said Kurama. As Naruto nodded, first thing first, let's fix in here, shall we? Kurama looked at him curiously as Naruto closed his eyes. Kurama watched in shock as the entire ceiling of the mindscape was broken away to reveal sunlight shining down on them. 3 minutes later, Kurama was astonished at what Naruto did. As Naruto was on the ground huffing and puffing, there was no longer a sewer. There was a giant waterfall with luscious grass and even small little fox running around the mindscape. High mountains, the bright beautiful sun in the sky. How did you do this? Well, Naruto said as he was huffing badly. It kinda took a lot more willpower and mind power than I thought. But it's better than what it used to be. As Kurama looked at him, 100% he said. There was a large stone with a sealing tag on it, signifying that Kurama was still sealed. But even though he could still move around as he stretched his legs, his 9 flowing tail flashing behind him dangerously. He went down on his paw. So, what can we do to prevent that horrible future from coming through? Well, first thing first, I need to get back in fighting shape. Hey, how old am I, Naruto asked. Well, I've been locked up in here for about 12 years now, said Kurama. Yes, 12 years. I'm 12, Naruto said. Damn it, that won't give me enough time. The graduations are right around the corner then. But with the help of my clones, and yours as well, Naruto said, looking up at Kurama, who just gave him a nod. I think I can do it. As Naruto smiled to himself, whoa, this is a lot much better than I thought. Having this kind of Kurama, rather than the dark one, is gonna help big time. Hey, what am I doing in this forest in the first place? You came out here to train by yourself. I am sure that your caretaker must be worried about you. My what? Your caretaker. What do you mean my caretaker? You know, that Anbu woman who take care of you. Wait, don't you remember anything? Well, I just recently woke up in this body, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Is that how it works? You have no knowledge of what happened in the last 12 years. Actually, no, said Naruto. Well then, I guess you... Naruto! Naruto, a voice called out, snapping Naruto from his thoughts. What was that? It's from the outside. Go. I'll create a mental link with you so we can talk. As Naruto closed his eyes and snapped them back open. Opening his eyes fully, he saw an Anbu walking towards him in a rather fast pace. As he looked at her, he noticed her long, purple hair. She slowly removed her mask as she put that side of her face. She then started to run towards him. What the hell, Naruto said, as she reached him and punched him right over the head. Ow, Naruto said as he held his head. Hey lady, what was that for? Don't you lady me, she said. I told you never to come in here by yourself. You will get hurt. She looked him over. Look at you, she said. What happened? As she looked at the tear in his clothes. Looked like you were attacked. Are you hurt? She asked him, looking him over. I'm fine, lady. Her name is Yujeo, said Kurama. Yujeo, huh? Oh, I know this girl. She was with Bachan, part of the 4 Anbu guards. She's my caretaker? Yes, has been for a long time now. But why would the old man give me a caretaker? Well, it all stopped when you reach 10 years old, when you start to take care of yourself. But she didn't want to leave you alone because she cared about you that much. So she stayed behind and took care of you. And besides, living in that giant house, you do get bored a lot and you really don't have a lot of friends. What do you mean giant house? Naruto was smacked over the head one more time. "Hey, are you listening to me?" As Naruto glared up at the woman. "Stop hitting me," he said. "Then stop being a damn brat. I told you not to come out here by yourself, and yet you disobey me once again. What if you had gotten seriously hurt? What if you had drowned in the water or something and I wasn't able to find you? Don't do stupid things like that and I won't hurt you," she said. Naruto was rather confused. It was strange. Despite her hating him, he could tell that she rather cared about him. And having no one when he was much younger, it made him felt rather strange. "Well, I'm sorry," he said. "But you don't have to be a ass about it and hit me." She smashed her hand over his head again. "Watch your mouth," she said. "Ow! Bitch," he said. He then felt the ominous aura as he slowly turned towards her. What did you just say?" she asked, her eyebrow twitching. I... Moments later, Naruto's head was steaming as he was being led out of the forest. "This woman is crazy," he said, as he looked at his short little body. I was really a pipsqueak when I was younger." "Hey, where are you taking me?" he asked. "I don't know what's up with your new attitude today, but I think you need to check your attitude before I really start to make it hurt," she said. As Naruto sighed. "Hey, where are you taking me?" he asked. "I'm taking you back home," she said. "We have to get you a change of clothes before going to the academy. You're already late. Come on," she said. She pulled his hand. He pulled his hand from her grasp. "Hey, I can walk, you know that?" "Yeah, but I'm not letting you out of my sight. Next thing you go and do something stupid again, like go into the forest of death by yourself. What if you had gotten hurt?" "Huh? You idiot," she said. "I already apologized about that. I'm not apologizing again." "Hey, watch your tone," she said. "I don't know what's up with you, but I don't like the way you're talking." Yeah, said Naruto, as he received another hit across the head. "Can't you stop doing that?" he shouted. "Well, keep on doing this and acting this way, and I'll continue to do it," she said. We'll see about that," he said. "What did you just say?" she asked. "Nothing," he said, as she started to lead him. Looking around the village, Naruto saw people still looking at him with those look in their eyes, knowing that he was a container of the Bichu. They still look at him with hate. She noticed that as she nudged him a bit. "Hey, don't focus on them," she said. "Come on, let's go," as she took his hand as they leaped onto the building top. As Naruto smiled, whoa, at least she's real nice, he thought. As they made their way, even passing his old apartment, but he said nothing, as he was taken up past the Hokage's monument behind it, to a rather large house. As the both of them stopped at a rather large gate, as she stood there waiting. "So what?" Naruto said. "What do you mean, so what, dumbass? Open the gate. It's only your blood that can do it." "My blood," Naruto said. "You already talked to the old man about this. He already told you how to pull the gate, right? So why are you hesitating?" she said. "You've done this a lot of time." Naruto looked at the gate strangely. "Hey, just bite your finger and wipe it over the seal." "Hey, what is this, Grandma?" Naruto said. "This is where you live." Given that the old man doesn't want to tell you about your status and who your father really is, he never told you about that. But he did give you this house and told you that it belonged to your parents, even though he removed all of the pictures, seeing that you were never able to find any before of your parents. He did tell you that they died in the war though. But you do understand, given that you lived this life before, why he has to do that. Yeah, I know my father has many enemies," Naruto said. "But I'm surprised. In the past life he never gave me this house. Well, things were bad for you when you were much younger, seeing that people always break into your house, trying to attack you. That is when he assigned you Jayo to be your guard. And from that day she didn't stop looking after you. Every time that she was off of her on-road duties, she would come and look for you and visit you, because she knew how lonely you will be in this giant house by yourself. Well, At least I have someone here for me when I was younger, Naruto said, despite my other past. He bit his finger as he wiped it across the seal. Hey, tell me, Naruto said, looking at Yujiro. Why haven't I have you sign in your name so you can come in as well? I can do that, she said. But before you left, you put a lock on the place. And it's only your blood that can pull the lock. But other than that, me, the old man, we can come in. Why are you asking me that? You already know that, she said. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Naruto said. As he removed the lock as the gate glowed red. It then died down as the gates then pushed open. Naruto was literally shocked stepping inside. The place was large. Hey, what's with that stupid look on your face, she said. Oh, sorry about that, Naruto said. Whoa, this place is... God damn, he thought, looking around. Come on, you're gonna be late, she said as she started to pull him inside. She's like a rough older sister, Naruto thought. As she shoved him inside and told him to go and change, he stood there. It's a second room on the first floor, said Kurama. Oh yeah, Naruto said, thanks for that. As he went off. Hey, how do you know so much, Naruto asked. Have we talked before? Well, not really, but I do get bored. So I sometimes look through your eyes. And I can also sometimes feel what you're feeling and hear what you're hearing. But I was feeling guilty. I thought you wouldn't want to talk to me and I was feeling it hard to talk to you. After knowing what I did. Whoa, you're really different, Naruto said. The other half of you wouldn't have given a damn about that. Well, we are the same person, but I'm just a little bit better. Huh, he would be angry if he heard that. Well, I'm glad that you're here, Naruto said. I doubt that I would have able to convince the other half that easily. He would have been all pissy about it, even though he was my best friend, Naruto said. Well, I'll help you too as well, said Kurama. It will be my atonement for what I did, to mess up your life this way. Nah, it's no big deal, Naruto said. I've come to live on with that, and I understand things now. So I'm not that pissy little kid, and remember, I have already lived through 17 years old of my life, so I'm not a pissy whiny kid. Well, I guess so, said Kurama, as Naruto stepped inside. Whoa, he said, looking at his giant bed. He had a large table to eat, and all sorts of toys. It was rather surprising because in his old home, he came to a stop. Looking on the floor, he saw there was a white box there. Hey, what's that? I have no idea, Kurama said. As Naruto took off the lid, a big smile came on his face. She actually sent them back. I thought that I wouldn't be able to see these again. What are those? Kurama asked. As Naruto pulled out two blades. The blades had golden hilt. The blades were white and rather sharp. You can see from the out edge. It had a dragon mouth right at the hilt where the blade came out of it. That was red, crimson red. It also had the Uzumaki swirl on the end of it. So, how did you receive these? Kurama asked. Well, I did ask Death if she could send them back. You must be one special kid for the god of death to actually help you and even give you a second chance. Well, given how messed up my life was before, I guess she took pity on me. She? Yes, she took a girl avatar. Well, her real form is actually scary as hell. To most people it will probably piss their pants, but I've been through a lot and things don't really scare me anymore. Is that so? Said Kurama. Well, yeah. Are you done yet? Said Yujiro. Almost, Naruto said. Man, she's really annoying. Well, she really loves you, said Kurama. I can see that, said Naruto. But I'm not a little kid, so it's kind of different. But I guess I could roll with it for now. As he went into his closet, first thing first, he took off his orange shirt and threw it away. I really hated orange in my past. When I was young it was kinda neat, but growing up I realized how stupid it was. As he looked inside to see a lot of clothes, some of them looked like they weren't even touched. But the orange ones looked worn out like they were touched a lot. Hey Krama, so tell me, am I a dumbass in this time as well? Well, you kinda are. So I'm still pulling those stupid pranks. Well, you're not a weak kid. What do you mean? Well, UJO did train you. Well, not that vigorously because she didn't want to hurt you. But she did show you a few techniques of fighting here and there. What about jutsus? Nah, you don't really know any of those. At least I've never seen you perform any before. So what about in your time, do you know any? What kind of a question is that? I suppose you're right, said Krama. Yeah, hundreds, Naruto said. And a lot of dangerous S-class ones. You are that powerful, said Krama. Yeah, but now, it's hard to do those. I guess my body has to adapt to them all over again. But it shouldn't take too long, given that I know the clone secret. The clone secret? Yeah, receiving information. What? Said Krama. Oh yeah, when my clone this spell, after training, the muscle memory, I can receive back the information. So, that's gonna help a lot. I wonder, Naruto said as he sat down. What are you doing? Well, it's hard, but I can still feel it. Nature energy. Wait, do you know how to draw upon nature energy? Are you a sage? Yeah, kind of, Naruto said. I can still feel it, it's all coursing around. But I'm gonna have to work on it. I wonder about the toads. Toads? Yeah, I used to be able to summon toads. But I guess it's gonna be really messed up if I summon them now. They're gonna wonder how do I know how to do this? And my name is probably not on the summoning contract. So I'm gonna hold off on summoning them for now. Naruto placed his swords back in the box as he shoved the box right under the bed. Right time. The moment he did that, his door was kicked open. As the angry Yuchio stepped inside. What's taking you so long, she said, as Naruto turned towards her, as he put on his black shirt, as he gave her a deadpan look. Well, if you're done, get to school already. You only have 2 months left before the graduation exams. Naruto smiled hearing that. What's with that goofy smile, she asked. Hey, my smile's not goofy. Get your ass out of this house before I kick you out, she said. Jeez, I'm going, he said, as he started to walk off. Little brat, she said, as he made it towards the gate. She stopped right in front of him. What now, Naruto asked. She kneeled down as she hugged him. She pulled him into a tight hug, surprising him for a few seconds there. But his hands just went up and hugged her back. Have a good day, she whispered in his ear, as she kissed him on his forehead. She put on her mask. See ya, she said, and with that she headed off. Naruto couldn't help it as a small smile came on his face. She's really like an older sister, he said. Well, at least something good came out of this life. At least it won't be so bad. As Naruto put his hands together, I wonder if this will work. As he focused his chakra, he then vanished. Naruto reappeared as his face slammed right into the stone wall. God damn it, he cursed as he rubbed his face. I guess I have to practice on the sunshine again as well. Hey, you didn't lock your gate, said Krama. As Naruto sighed. Oh yeah, he said. This should be really easy. As he placed his hands together, a clone poof in existence. He looked over the clone and then poked it right in the side. Hey, come on, that tickled, the clone said, as it smacked away his hand. At least my clones are in good shape. Hey, I want you to go and lock by the gate. Hey, who are you, the clone asked. What the hell? What do you mean who I am? I'm the one who just summoned you. Well, it's weird. I'm getting informations about 2 separate life. What the hell is this? And information about jutsus that I never really saw before. And you as an adult. I guess he's receiving the memories from your 2 different life. Oh. Yeah, don't worry about that. Just focus on this memory and go unlock the gate. Oh, alright, the clone said as he walked off. As he smacked his head a few times. As Naruto headed off. Walking around the village, it looked really the same, except for a few new shops that he didn't see before. As he was walking, he heard someone say his name. Good morning, Naruto, the person said. As Naruto turned towards the man. Hello there, Naruto said, giving him an awkward wave. As he was confused. Weren't people supposed to hate him in this timeline? Well, at least this time of his life, before he defeated Pain and proved himself to the village. His name is Kaido. I don't know, but for some reason this man don't see you as a monster that other people see you as. Well, he could have known my father and know that I'm just really a boy and has you still inside me. Oh, and you know his daughter as well. His daughter? Wait, he kind of looked familiar now. I've seen him in a weapon shop in Konoha before. Yeah, this is a shop, the Higarashi shop. Wait, he's Ten. Hey Naruto, a voice said as Naruto turned to see Tenten coming out of the shop with a smile on her face. She had on her headband as she smiled down at him. She was taller than him, yes. As Naruto looked at her, oh, hello there, Tenten. Hey, you're gonna be late if you stay here, you know that? Yeah, Naruto, said Kaido, you're gonna be late for school. Don't you want to pass and become a ninja like Tenten? Of course I do that, said Tenten. That's his dream after all, to become one of the most powerful ninjas in the elemental nations. You better believe that, she said, as she chuckled to herself. Huh. Yeah, I was always saying that, Naruto said. You better believe it. Wait, wasn't my dream to become Hokage, Naruto asked. Well, you did say that a few times, but... So, have you changed your dream, she asked. Oh, not really, Naruto said. Oh, okay then, she said. Well, see ya, I'm off. As she ran off. As Naruto started to walk again. Have a good day, Naruto said Kaido. You too, Naruto said. As he walked away. Man, some things have really changed a lot. Making his way towards the academy. As he realized he wasn't late, seeing that Aruka wasn't here yet. The moment Naruto stopped right in front of the door, he could sense it. That chakra. He could sense it. His blood started to boil instantly. Hey kid, you really need to calm down, said Kurama. You're taking on my appearances because you're kind of going off of your raw emotions. Oh, am I? Naruto said, as his eyes were blood red with slits in them. Looking at his hands, he realized blood was coming from his palm. As he slowly opened his hands to realize his claws were digging into his flesh. Hey, what happened to you? Said Kurama. I'll tell you about it later, Naruto said. I can't talk about it right now. I don't think I'll be able to control my anger. He then heard footsteps, a lot of them. Suddenly, he had to move out of the way as Ino and Sakura rushed past him, entering the class. As that made him even more angry. Hey kid, you really need to calm down, said Kurama. Don't lose yourself. As Naruto took in several deep breaths, knowing that they were in there, remembering what they did to him, it was just making him so angry. He literally wanted to march in there and kill the both of them. But he had to hold himself back. He can't afford to do anything or do anything too stupid. As he took a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Unaware to him, everyone inside, even Ino and Sakura, who had settled down now, was starting to freak out. As cold bumps were coming over all of their skins, feeling the amount of deadly killing intent leaking in the class. As Sakura and Ino had backed away from the door as he could feel it. Wait, didn't we just pass Naruto out there? Said Ino. Yeah, said Sakura. No wonder my mom told me to stay away from him. Something is really wrong. What is this feeling, she said. I don't know, said Ino. I've never felt anything like this before. As another one of Sasuke fangirls walked over. Whoa. This is just scary, she said. As Naruto opened the door and stepped inside, every eyes were on him. Looking at his clothing, as he was wearing a black shirt, long sleeve with the Uzumaki symbol on the back. And he was wearing black and orange pants with his normal ninja sandals. His goggles were not on his forehead. As he took it off, he found it really stupid. Looking at everyone, his eyes, as they all turned their gaze away from him. All of them too scared to look in his eyes. But Sasuke, being who he is, looked at Naruto with a defiant stare, not backing down. As it made Naruto's blood run cold. Sakura then scoffed. "Hey Naruto, stop looking at my Sasuke like that," she said. "Your Sasuke," said Ino. Sakura was lucky that her attention was drawn by Ino, or she would have received that harsh glare that Naruto just sent her way. Sasuke noticed this as he wondered what was up, because all the time, Naruto was a brain-dead fool who was obsessed and in love with Sakura, but to see him send a glare like that her way, Sasuke was rather surprised about it. As he wondered what was up with the dope today, and the dope wearing black, what was with that? He was always wearing orange. Like a ninja should wear orange. What a buffoon, Sasuke thought. As Naruto went to sit down by the window seat, Shikamaru lifted up his head slowly, as he then turned towards Naruto and rested back on the table. "Hey, what was that?" he asked. Naruto smiled, seeing Shikamaru's lazy attitude like usual. "You know what?" said Shikamaru. "Never mind. You can tell me something that's gonna be a real drag, so don't bother," he said. As he just looked through the window. "I wish I was a cloud," he said. As he started to dream about being a cloud, making Naruto chuckle. "Hey, what's so funny?" asked Choji as he was eating a bag of chips. Same old Choji," Naruto said, looking at his friends here in the class, as he felt eyes on him. He then turned his head as Hinata quickly turned her head towards the window, blushing up a storm. He knew that she liked him, but he didn't see her that way. He liked her as a friend, but as someone to be with, he never really thought about that. Given that in his other life, he was mostly focused on training and getting stronger, he never had time for relationships or anything like that. Even though, after destroying Pain and saving the village, a lot of women came to him, asking him out on a date and all that. But when they usually went on date, he never really went on a second date with them, seeing that he never felt that spark with them or anything like that. But he did take up some of Jiraiya's dirty attitude. Going out on missions, and going out to one of those brothels, where he had a wonderful time with some beautiful ladies. Yeah, he wasn't a novice at these things, but being back in this tiny little body, he was a kid again. He shook his head off those thoughts as Iruka came into the room. "Alright, everyone have a seat," he said, as he looked around the room. As Naruto sighed, he already knew many of these things. He didn't need to learn any of this right now. He just needed to get his body back into fighting shape. Because in order to stop things from happening and progressing far in the future, he would have to stop a lot of things before they even start. As he placed his head down on the table. Time skip. Later that day, Naruto found himself in the forest. As he was in the forest of Konoha, not going to one of the training fields because he didn't want anyone to see him. Yeah, everyone will be rather shocked seeing a kid like him perform these kinds of jutsus. "So what are you gonna do now?" Kurama asked. "First thing first," Naruto said as he sat down. Sitting down and closed his eyes. His eyes, the top of it anyway, started to change as he slowly opened them to show the form of Sage Mode. But just like that, it slipped away. "Damn it," Naruto cursed as he punched the ground. "What happened?" said Kurama. "It's harder to maintain," Naruto said. "I guess I'll have to work on it." He then held out his hand as his chakra started building in his hand, forming a ball. Sweat started to build across his brow as he popped more chakra, as the Rasengan was created, but it was rather hollow. As he turned toward a tree and thrust his hand forward, the Rasengan smashed into the tree, but it didn't went all through. "It's just wild," Naruto said as he saw the Rasengan trying to just overcome the entire tree rather than destroying the complete center that he aimed for. And he didn't give it enough power, but he gave it too much spin. If he had pushed it a little bit longer, it would have exploded on him. As he cursed, he needed to relearn his body all of these things over again. And that was just a hassle. At least he knew all of his fighting styles. That couldn't leave his mind. He placed his hands together, multi-shadow clone jutsu, as 1,000 clones popped into existence. I know you guys must be having a mixed feeling right now, having two different memories in your head. But I just need you to go on the older me, because that is what we're going to be working on. Alright then, begin, he said. Time skip. Naruto slowly made his way to his new home. As he swiped his blood across the seal, going inside, he was tired, as he couldn't believe how much one small training session took out of him. His body was just physically exhausted, and he don't even have on weights yet. Man, this was going to be a lot. He then smelled something, a wonderful aroma, as he started to make his way towards it as he opened the door. As he heard something frying as he went off to the large kitchen. As he looked inside, "Oh, you're home rather late." "Well, I just got here some time ago too. So, I'm not blaming you," she said, "because if you had come in earlier, I wouldn't even start on dinner yet." Naruto looked at her. "Oh yeah, thanks for not putting that other seal on the gate. Because if you did, I wouldn't be able to get in, even though I didn't tell you this morning. But Hayate's on the mission. I was going to cook this for me and him. But knowing you were probably over here, you were going to eat ramen or something really stupid that wasn't healthy for you." I mean, jeez. Can't you eat something healthy? As Naruto just looked at her. "Oh, I'm ranting, sorry about that," she said. "Well, I decided to cook for us tonight," she said, that smile on her face. "Hey, you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine," he said. "Why don't you go ahead and wash up? Dinner will be ready soon." As Naruto nodded and started to walk off. As he smiled to himself. Is this what it feels like to have a family? After defeating pain, becoming the hero of the village, even though he seemed quite popular, going home it was just him. Seeing that Jiraiya was gone, the closest thing he had to a father, even after meeting his own father. He also met his mother, but he never truly had anyone there for him at his house. Coming home and greeting them to see them cooking, it felt strange. It just stirred something in his heart. And this woman, she was like an older sister, or even a mother to him. And he was kind of grateful. Yes, he will protect her, because in this life she's rather special to him, and one of his precious people. And he won't let anyone harm her, he says, he clenches his fists. And if it comes down to it, if he cannot stop Sasuke from getting that mark, or Sakura from wanting to go with him, he will kill the both of them. As he went to the bathroom to get washed up. Time skip, 1 month and 29 days later. It was currently Sunday. Tomorrow will be the exam. We currently at one of the forests in Konoha. There were sensory seals all over to tell if anyone was coming in there, so he could know instantly. A yellow blur shot past in the woods as it jumped over to the side, dodging several strikes. Several other blurs shot through the woods, all of them throwing kunais and shuriken. But the blur just kept on dodging each and every one of them as he jumped up in the air and ran through hand sign, releasing a ball of compressed wind in all directions, straight towards the other blurs. As they went through hand sign as well, earth style, mud wall they said, as massive mud walls erupted around him, surrounding him like a circle, as he was trapped right in the center. The 5 others jumped on their respective mud walls as they all went through hand sign, water style, water bullet, as they took in a deep breath and fire out water bullet from their mouths. He raised both of his blades as he started spinning them fast. The water made contact with his blades, but the chakra coursing through his blades quickly sliced the water bullets down, like they were nothing. The 5 clones then jumped in with kunai as he ducked under 2 of them, planting one of his blades in the ground. He pushed himself up and delivered a right kick to the first one. Right in his chest, the clone was sent sailing before poofing away. The other one came down at him with a slash as he tilted his body. Right when the clone landed on the ground, he slammed his foot into the clone's stomach as the clone poofed away. As the other 3 rushed forward, as the one in the middle was grabbed by the 2 of them as he threw him up in the air. He went through handstand in mid-air. Wind style, great breakthrough, he said, as he released a massive gust of wind coming down. As Naruto picked up his blade and threw it straight up into the air. The blade, covered in chakra, sliced right through the wind gusts. The clone eyes went wide when Naruto vanished in a flash as he reappeared at the edge of the wall, sheathing his blade. As nasty gashes came on the 3 of them as they poofed away, as he caught his last blade. As Naruto released a sigh, his hair has grown out over the 2 months as it went down into his back now. Even though Yujiro was against it and told him to cut it many times, saying that she liked his hair when it was shorter, but he liked it this way. Even though she was one of the few stable people in his life, he didn't tell her about this. Kurama was a part of him, and Kurama was a giant, 9-tailed beast. So he could understand, but he didn't trust that she would wrap her head around it nicely. He even also met Hayate. Even though they have met before, Naruto never remembered any of that, and the man was rather nice to him. But he treated Naruto like a little pipsqueak, which Naruto didn't like. To be looked down on, even though he's just a kid in this body. But he still had the mindset of a 17-year-old, and the serious mindset that gave him his name in his time. Yeah, he was not a kid at all, even though he looked like one. Things were coming along nicely. He went to the Hikari shop as he talked to Tenten and her father. And yeah, it seems like he was really close to them, as the man didn't see him as a monster at all. And Tenten, they were friends. He also bought weights. Right now he had on 50 pounds each, on each arm and each legs. It was helping him a lot in his fighting stance, as he realized that he needed to even relearn all of that as well. And when it comes to his Sage mode, he was getting along with it, but not that well. It seemed like his little body need more time to adjust. But he could still enter Sage mode, but not for long. But he still granted him the other abilities like the superhuman strength and the strong endurance to attack. For a 12-year-old, he had a really ripped body. After doing so much training, hours upon hours, and also extending with his clones, it was really hard and difficult. But he needed to get back into fighting shape. But he knew right now he was the top of his class in strength and power. But he never show off himself or boost anything, not wanting any eyes on him. He does not have any problem with those two, as he stay out of their way. And it seems like Sakura came to realize it as well, as it seemed like he was still the goofy one in this time, asking her out on date and those things. Even she was surprised that he stopped just talking to her in all, as he heard her talking to Ino. Even Ino was surprised that Naruto stopped asking her out on date. She just scoffed and said that finally he get it. If that bitch ever knew how much he hated her. But for a matter of fact, Naruto knew that he will be on a team with them. Seeing that he was a dead last in the class anyway. Seeing that he never boasts on his skills or anything. And Sasuke was the best in the class, as he cursed for that. But he needs to stick close to them, because he has to find a way to stop them from doing what they're about to do, to go down that path. Or else, if he can't, he will have to kill the both of them. But guys, to be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends, your social media platform. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.